My name is Gloria Hammond and I am graduating from Box Elder High School in Brigham City. To me, being an activist is just being involved in issues that you might find important, and it differs from person to person, but just being aware of issues like in your community and just things that you see in general, and then taking it upon yourself to act on those feelings and, to make things better for other people as well as yourself. The GSA stands for Gay Straight Alliance, and it's basically a club where anyone from, in the school of any sexual orientation can go, and it's a safe place for LGBTQ students and allies as well. And it's a place where people can talk freely without judgment and, do community service projects as well and just help the community and, raise bullying awareness. I just thought it sounded like a really good idea, and it didn't sound like it could really carry any negative impacts, and I thought that people would really enjoy it once it kind of got started and there was less of a commotion about just, having a club with the word gay in it. I think that the biggest thing that came out of this was just people understand that you can take actions. You can complain about how bad a situation is, but until you actually put an effort into it, you don't really know how people really feel or, where others are coming from, that you can make changes. And even if they don't seem like a really big deal when you think about them, they can have, a mass effect. In the future, I don't think that I'll ever just give up on people. I really hope that doesn't happen. I'm just a naturally inquisitive person, so I don't really see myself not questioning other people, as well as myself too. I like to understand where I come from as well. And so I think that's just an important part of my personality, and I don't really see that changing.
My name is Ashley Wimpy, and I'm graduating from Joab High School. Being a civil liberties activist is leading by example. It's showing people that this is what I think the world should be, and I'm going to own up to what I say. You don't just follow the set ideals, that you give people the chance to be who they are and that you're okay with that. Last April, then we had a lesbian couple that attended prom, and I decided to publish their photo because it was a beautiful photo, and they still deserve to be shown that they went to prom. It didn't make a difference to me that it had been 2 girls in the photo. It didn't matter if it had been 2 boys. They were just people who really went to prom. Documenting what really happened is part of journalism. It's part of being the editor. But it's what's really happening, and it's what people are really thinking. Freedom of speech and freedom of being who you are really important. I want to go into journalism, freedom of speech. I want to continue to be part of revolutions everywhere, in everything, especially this generation with technology and connecting with people and moving people. I want to be part of that. I want to be in it. I want to be marching in the middle of the street. I don't want to take photos on the side or tweet about it the next morning. I want to be there.
My name is Mattie Palmer, and I'm graduating from Cottonwood High. Being a civil liberties activist is a really important thing for me, just because I feel like we all have a responsibility to take the privilege that we've been given to kind of help people who don't have that same kind of privilege. So I think it's a really important thing that everyone should, kind of take a step towards becoming a civil liberties activist in whatever way they can. So I'm a member of an organization called Backyard Broadcast. I actually started a chapter, we call them stations, at my own school. And that's an organization that raises awareness for child sex trafficking in our local communities. So I have been running that club for about 2 years now. And we do advocacy on the issue of domestic child sex trafficking, as well as working with police officers and trying to get trainings. And even working with legislators, testifying on bills, and kind of trying to make a more lasting change that way. So I'd done a lot of work with youth homelessness, and one of the projects that I was involved in was a project where we were homeless for a day as an awareness and empathy sort of thing. So we were working with the police, and we were actually panhandling out on the streets. And while I was out there, a man approached me and just kept trying to get me to go with him and ask me personal questions, but he was never really overbearing. You know, he didn't threaten me in any way. And afterwards, when we were talking to the police, they brought up that he was probably a trafficker, and that was the first time that I'd heard about this issue, especially happening here in America, let alone here in Salt Lake City, Utah, you know. And so that was a real eye-opener for me, that there are kids on the street who are my age, who are just in different situations than I am, but that makes them so much more vulnerable to an issue like this. I'm really hoping to continue with Backyard Broadcast and the advocacy work that I'm doing right now. Wherever I go to college, a lot of the colleges I've been looking at specifically because they are very accepting to this kind of thing and starting clubs and things like that. And I also am going into documentary is what I want to do, just because I think that's a really great way to you know, show people about issues like these that they might not have known about, open their eyes, and maybe inspire them to become passionate about something as well.
My name is Burnett, and I'll be graduating from the Salt Lake Center for Science Education. Being a civil liberties activist means to me is just to open my eyes and look around and see what's missing, whose rights aren't being fulfilled here. The Day of Silence is a national campaign, and today when students all around the world, from junior high through college, take a vow of silence during their school hours in solidarity with kids who have been bullied, with an emphasis on the LGBT community. The Day of Silence was something that needed to happen because I could see that bullying was something that was going on at my school, especially around LGBT community. You know, with the different vocabulary kids were using that was degrading to the LGBT community. And now with the Day of Silence, it's something that draws awareness to these things aren't okay to say, and they're not okay to do, and it's not okay to be like that. And not only that, but it's cool to not say these things, and it's cool to be educated. I would say to kids who didn't participate in the Day of Silence and who are afraid to put themselves out there and be an activist, that they need to look inside themselves and find the things that they're passionate about, because everyone is passionate about something, and then to just go and explore that. There are thousands of opportunities to be an activist and to get involved. Go and figure out what it was, and it's really scary at first, but it is so fun. And you get opportunities to learn about yourself in so many different ways. Well, I'm really excited about college because I have this idea that I want to recreate myself, and I don't know what that means yet, so it's kind of terrifying and exciting at the same time. When I go to college, I think I'm just going to look around and see what needs to happen here, what do we need to do, what needs to be taken to people's attention. And so that's my plan right now.